Keon was a very funny boy, kind of shy at first, but when he's at home, he kind of lets loose.
Keon was the world's best little boy, heart of gold, honest, remarkable. When Keon's father went to prison, it was very hard for him. It broke his little heart. It really, really did.
When I was 5 years old, my mom came and she talked to me about my dad, and she told me that he wasn't gonna be back for a while. I had to step in my dad's shoes when he wasn't there.
He had friends kind of teasing him about not having his dad, or, he would see other kids with their dad and he'd be like, well, Mom, why I don't have my dad? Him having his grandfather in his life did help a lot. Grandpa was pretty much dad.
Keon and my husband was spending a lot of time together, a lot. Keon was over here a lot more than he was in his own house.
His grandfather did everything. He was a mechanic, a plumber, carpenter, you name it, Dad did it. He tried to instill all those things that his dad taught him in Keon. One particular time was I was cooking in the kitchen and I just turned and he was laying in the middle of the kitchen floor, kind of like in a fetal position. And I asked him what was wrong and he was like, Mom, I feel lost. I just feel lost without my dad.
I just kind of felt like bored and empty inside. I guess that kind of like opened up her eyes and let her know like I need somebody in my life.
My thought process was I just finished high school. I had all those fresh mistakes and lessons like right there in my head. Why not turn around and give that to somebody else who's going into it?
Before I met Chris, my mom, the only thing she really told me was that he's a college student. And, me watching a whole lot of TV, I'm thinking that he's gonna be like, a frat guy, like partying and stuff like that.
I was super curious when they first matched me with Keon. I did know that he was at a pivotal point in his life because I was aware that his father wasn't in the picture at the time. And I know for me that if I didn't have my dad when I was going into high school, that I wouldn't have been able to get through some of the things that I went through.
The first time I met Chris, we got in the car and he was like, oh, well, what do you like? Dairy Queen, there's Dairy Queen right up the street. Oh, I like Dairy Queen. And I was just like, oh, this is cool then. Oh, okay, that's fine.
About a month later, Keon came to me and asked me, Mom, so when am I gonna be able to hang out with Chris? That's when I knew he kind of liked Chris, because he really wasn't for, I guess, asking to hang with people. Every week since then, they've been together.
I just have a habit of like not trusting people a lot for a while. I have to like settle in and, to be able to give him a chance.
One of my favorite things to do at the time was to take him to Texas State and make him walk the hills with me and the stairs and that kind of stuff. And he ended up telling me the story of his dad and how his dad had gone to prison, and since then he really wasn't able to sort of let out any of his feelings. I was like, okay, this is my chance to dig a little deeper and leave a seed here. So we talked that night a little bit about the importance of not keeping everything you're thinking and feeling bottled in.
That was actually like losing your dad. Someone that's been there for you, someone that showed you big things in life, someone that you depended on, and then they're just gone.
When Keon lost his grandfather, that took a piece of his heart. It really did. He's got quiet, didn't want to be around anybody, didn't want to go anywhere, stayed in his room.
He held in the tears. He didn't cry. It's like he was trying to just remember the good times that he had. I'm sorry.
I was his age when I lost my grandfather. And so it was something that really resonated with me outside of even being around Keon. because I knew his grandfather meant the world to him, just like mine did.
Chris came and talked to me, and he wanted me to tell him exactly how I felt about it. And after a while, I started talking to him about the situation.
I knew it was something that he and I needed to spend a lot of time talking about, and getting him to express what that meant to him, both his grandfather and his grandfather's passing.
Chris stepped it up and showed him, you know, you have me, you're gonna always have me, I'm here. And I think that kind of, it touched Keon.
One thing that Keon never stops talking about is how his grandfather fixed everything.
Me and my big brother decided to redo my grandmother's front and back porch and her cabinets in her house. My grandfather was the handyman around, so why not try to keep that going instead of having somebody else come and do it.
Helping Grandma was a wonderful thing to do because she's one of the sweetest ladies I've ever met. She was blown away. She was absolutely blown away. One of the biggest smiles I've ever seen.
I seen a big change from the little boy that was quiet, kind of in a little shell. Now he's talkative and a nut. He's just so goofy.
Chris is an important person to me, like my mom and my grandma. He's like my actual brother, my actual big brother. If it wasn't for him, I'd be actually a totally different person than I am now. He taught me that it doesn't matter what other people think of you. You know, you are who you are.
I've gotten a lot out of this. I wasn't really sure what it was gonna mean to me as far as when I first met Keon. But I mean, after 3 years together, it's a part of me. It's a part of who I am. And he's family from here on out. He's definitely there for me just as much as I'm there for him.
Keon and Chris's relationship, it's like Chris has been a part of our family forever. He's one of us.
I really believe that he is a God, and God sent him to us.
I think in the next 5 years, they will still be close like they are now. I think they'll be together forever. I really do.